graphics interfaces in its heyday, made the greatest music player that shaped a generation, and is responsible for the biggest technological revolution in decades, not to mention, at the time of making this video, the most valuable company in the world, requires no introduction. However, although you and I still consider it a tech company, over the past decade or so, and largely since Steve Jobs' influence has faded, the company has begun to shift towards a much more software and service-based business model. And it looks like the first major breakthrough away from computer technology might be on the horizon. Today, I am going to tell you all about what might be Apple's biggest and most important release since the iPhone, Apple's own self-driving car. If you are interested and want to learn more, then gear up in your fancy futuristic seats and keep watching till the end. Project Titan. Now, this part of the deal is still a little rough, but we can still guess a lot from what we know. First off, it is pretty much a given that the car's chip will be designed in-house and made by TSMC, the Taiwanese chip maker Apple also employs for their iPhone and Mac chips. For a while, it was rumored that Apple might partner with Hyundai Kia to make the automobile bits of the car, with reported plans for a $3.6 billion investment in Kia Motors. However, in February of this year, those companies came clean that the deal did not go through. And so that question is still in the air. However, what we can tell you is what isn't in the air. And that's the hirings. From a climate system expert from Volvo Car AB, a sensor engineer from General Motors Company's Cruise LLC, and multiple other engineers from Tesla of all places. It seems to me that they are now planning to do everything in-house. And with Apple's AI and machine learning chief, John Giandria, the man who will probably be responsible for getting the software part of the thing settled, finally joining the team as well, I think they can pull it off. And honestly, if they manage to do it, I'm pretty sure they will be successful. Because while Tesla is too engrossed in the EV side of things, and their other competitors like Alphabet's Waymo focusing only on software, as Apple's exec Mark Gurman himself put it, the kinds of things we love to work on are those where there's a requirement of hardware, software, and services to come together. Magic occurs at that intersection. The timeline. Although fans have always speculated about what an Apple car may look like, for the longest time, that was always brushed away as fanboy talk. However, everything became clearer in February of 2015, when a mysterious van that was reported to belong to Apple was spotted in Northern California, which, as you may know, is the home of Apple itself. And what exactly was it that got this van labeled as mysterious? Well, as it turns out, the otherwise simple black van had something massive and unseemly attached to the top, namely a camera rig, and one with multiple cameras. And while at the time most people thought that this was something akin to Google Street View, others began to think something more serious was afoot. However, the presence of drivers in the vans and Apple's insistence that all of it was related to their maps quickly squashed those rumors. But as it would be later revealed, those few people weren't in the wrong, as according to the most recent reports, it was back in 2014 that Apple officially gave birth to Project Titan, which, you guessed it, is the name given to their automotive initiative. According to the Wall Street Journal, their sources claim that at that time, Apple already had hundreds of employees working on this so-called Project Titan. And not only that, they seem pretty serious about it too, with Steve Zadesky, Apple VP of Product Design, leading the project under Dan Riccia, Apple's head of hardware engineering. Now, the next few years remained quiet, and it was only 2 years later in 2016 that Apple next opened up about the project. Steve Zadesky announced his plans to exit the project, and soon afterwards, in July, the former Apple exec Bob Mansfield, who had retired from the company earlier in 2012,